Hey everyone. So we had a pretty busy weekend this past week. We had the Moose Lodge fundraiser, which turned out to be pretty successful. We had a nice turnout and a decent amount of money was saved or generated. Um, I also had updated MRIs to see where my tumors are at after 6 weeks of radiation and chemotherapy. So I'll be updating you on that. I also need to make sure I get through acknowledging everyone who's supported and donated thus far because I have quite a backlog of people that I need to get around to doing that for. Um, so I'll go ahead and start with my family, namely my mother and my sister, who have been pretty essential with getting me to and from appointments and also communicating with doctors and people who can also provide extra support. For example, my sister has been communicating with Samaria and Bethany from the Winks Foundation, who granted me $3,000, which was huge. It will help me get to and from Duke University, which I'll be back there again next week. So I want to say thank you to them. You guys did not need to reach out like that, but you did, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. The next group of people would be my company, TriStar Electric, who I worked for 9 years. Mike and Sandy Falkenham went above and beyond to do what they could to help me with funding. Same thing with my coworkers. I can't forget them. I will, with respect to their privacy, not mention their names out loud, but I will have it in the description below. Um, some of them donated $500 per person, which was huge. So again, thank you guys, and hopefully I can repay you guys someday. Um, then there's Keith from Family Auto Repair Plus, um, automotive repair shop in Virginia Beach. I recommend checking them out if you need any work. He's done me a good one more than once, so I appreciate him for that. Okay, so I would like to go ahead and touch on the MRIs that I mentioned. As many of you know, I was diagnosed with a grade 4 GBM, glioblastoma. These are basically tumors that are considered terminal and incurable. Um, there have been cases where people have somehow managed to survive long term, and it seems to almost be a matter of chance. I'm trying to put up the fight that I can to survive as long as possible, um, but there's no telling what's going to happen. I just try to stay optimistic and not dwell on anything negative. Anyway, so the MRI showed that the tumors, which there are two of, um, shrunk at least 1.5 centimeters each. So it's basically just over an inch that they've shrunk, um, which is more substantial than it might sound, especially considering that one of them um, actually started off about 2.5 centimeters, and by the time we even got around to a biopsy, it was already at 4 centimeters. So basically, these tumors over the past 6 weeks have gone from the size of a golf ball to the size of marbles. So that's quite a big deal. And my hope is that when I get rolling on the immunotherapy down at Duke, that the immunotherapy will you know, kind of wipe out the remaining, the remnants of the April 30th, which is next week. I'll be going down to Duke University. I'll be meeting with Dr. Mustafa. Um, he'll be getting me rolling on another cycle of Temidar, which I'm not looking forward to. It's going to be a double dose, but it's at least only 5 days. I'll do that for 5 days, and then there'll be a washout period of, I believe it's going to be at least a month, and then I'll be starting the immunotherapy injections. Now, the way this immunotherapy works, to my understanding, is that it's going to be targeting something called CMV, which is a marker on these tumors that will allow my immune system to kind of like rev up and fight the tumors and hopefully give me further progression um, towards remission. So that's the idea, the basic idea, and be holding out hope for that. Um, Yeah, so that's the plan for right now, the loose idea. Um, Again, I want to thank everybody who's donated and reached out. Nobody should feel pressure to do so. I'm fine without, I don't need to be showered with attention. I don't need pity parties. I'm not a woe is me guy. I'm actually pretty optimistic. And that's kind of where my head is at. I'm trying to basically kind of shoot towards the finish line. So, anyway, I want to just say thank you for checking out this video. There's going to be more that will go more in depth and kind of explain the journey thus far so everyone knows where I'm at. And yeah, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.